Biafrans all over the world, good morning. Good morning. I have to reset my camera for avoidance of that because I see that it seems like I'm too close to the camera. But I hope that I'll be directed from the background to really know how I am positioned. We had technical issues earlier as a result of one or two audio challenges here and there. And I also would like to verify from the audio team if my voice is coming out clear. I would like to get that. Yes, it has been confirmed that my audio is coming out loud and clear. And I want to welcome Biafrans all over the world this morning to this wonderful interactive program on Biafra Television Europe. And I feel so delighted and happy to be here. Um, as you join us, please, as you join us, share this program. We have to log out earlier to be able to correct the technical issue. I believe it came from the audio, the musical audio. It was not a studio problem, but I think we've been able to take care of that. My name is Mazi Ikem Patrick DK, and I'm talking to you live from Padova, Italy. And it is my pleasure to be here once again. As you join us, please share this program, tag your friends, make sure that everybody around you is following, that everybody around you is also listening, because we're going to have a wonderful interactive program this Sunday morning. I know it's quite unusual, but it is very, very important that we hold programs like this to talk with our people from time to time when the need or the occasion arises. So I want to welcome you once again. I know that many people commented earlier that we had audio issues, and I believe that they should be getting the notification once again to rejoin this program. And we'll be dealing with very, very, very interesting issues. We'll be dealing with very, very interesting topics. I have not chosen any specific topic per se, but I want to make it a general kind of interactive program where people can bring their concerns, where people can call in, because soon the number will also be on the screen for those who want to call in, who want to ask questions. I'm here to respond to some of those questions, and I believe that my response will give some level of satisfaction to a large extent. But no, please, can you please change the number? The number to call in, yes, beautiful. Plus 39, it's a WhatsApp number, and I believe a lot of Biafrans also have this number with them. Plus 39388 177 9665. And the line is already open if you want to call in, because I have come across so many questions on my own personal platform, and my platform, I cannot engage everybody there because of the time limit. I wouldn't have all the time in the world to be responding to questions. So if there are questions you must have asked me on my personal timeline, you can bring them forward here, and also have that opportunity to have direct interaction with me. I want to send a salute to Ndubisiani, and for your comment. As your comment comes in, I will recognize you on the comment section. Ndubisiani, you're welcome to the program. This is BTV Europe, and this is a Sunday morning, 13th of April 2025, and we are hosting this program today for the benefit of our people. You know, Biafrans love asking questions, and that is the reason why we have a formidable media where would be available from time to time to respond to some of your concerns, because the struggle we are fighting for is a very huge one, and nobody knows it all. Uh, as a matter of fact, I've always, made our people understand that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took the microphone and took his gadgets to start broadcasting, he never knew he was going to build such a huge movement that have enveloped the world. When you look at the progress made over the years, you see how IPOB have spread all over the world, from Africa to Asia to Europe and Americas. And you have families in every nook and cranny of the planet as we speak today. But the most important aspect of IPOB family and membership lies deep in our hearts, despite our communions from time to time, where we hold meetings and interact, despite all our meetings in different zones and units. The major and the most important aspect of our participation lies deep and deep and deep within our hearts. Because if you don't have IPOB at heart, it is completely impossible for you to participate in the activities. And if you do not have IPOB at heart, a time will come when it's going to also show in your character that you are just in there based on the flow of the moment or based on excitement to be part of what is going on, to be part of movement. Because there are people who naturally are moved by crowd. Wherever they see the crowd go, they tend to drive in that direction. But for me personally, all my life, I have never followed the crowd. I have never followed the crowd. Is it in the area of fashion? Or is it in the area of food consumption? No, I have always find my own personal path because I live with my own conviction. But when you follow a crowd without understanding the um, or without having that conviction of the objective that drives that crowd, a time will come when you have to come to terms that you do not belong. You do not belong uh, to that setting. Events will expose you eventually, and we have seen events expose crowd followers who joined IPOB because they believe it was fashionable at the time for everybody to be part of IPOB and contribute in their own little ways without having any form of personal conviction of the reason why they joined IPOB. In fact, we have also even seen people set up zones and units who were asked to go and set up their zone and their unit. And they set up zone and their unit, they become coordinators, but they do not even understand. They do not even understand the reason why they have joined IPOB in the first place. And that is why you see at every point in time that there is a wave, many get swept by the side because they do not within themselves understand the reason why they are joining the movement. At every point in time, we see people come up with their own personal agenda as well, without aligning themselves with the general interest and general purpose in which IPOB was formed. So these are the issues we'll be dealing with today, and I'll be answering questions in that regard as well. So you have to bear with me, because for the past few days I've also had flu, and I've had flu for the past few weeks, and my voice might not be clear sometimes. So I have to sometimes take some permissions to be able to, do the needful. So you have to bear with me. Just stay live, remain live with me. I want to announce that we are live on YouTube. We have our YouTube channel running. We have the Rapture Media running. We are live on so many platforms, and we hope that you continue to bring in your own contributions. Alicia Gold, you're welcome from our YouTube channel. I believe that many people who came in earlier, because earlier so many people joined, but they left because the audio wasn't coming out. So I would like you, for those of you who are here, to please share this video, share this program. Make sure that you participate in the sharing so that others can join. I want us to, yes, I have Ike Chukwunaji. Not all not all your comments are coming out on my own end, but I also try to see if I can connect with you from the Facebook channel, where I can get more questions and more comments. So please, the number is on the screen, and is +39388 1779665. In the past few weeks, or this past week, we saw events that unfolded where we have to stand up to the defense of IPOB and its leadership. And this was necessitated as a result of consistent attack that have continued to come on our leadership, with unwarranted criticism, insult, abuse, and blackmail, where certain individuals made it a duty for themselves to use their individual platform to blackmail the leadership of IPOB, blackmail Biafran people for their own personal purpose and interest. We all know how IPOB was formed, and the settings of IPOB requires that if you're a member of IPOB, if you have concerns and issues, you have to visit your zone through your zonal or unit coordinator to lay down some of your complaints, some of your concerns. And these are done in line with our code of conduct and the rules that we all follow. IPOB was not a social media formation. IPOB was not formed to function only on the social media. Neither is it formed to function only on the mainstream media. IPOB is a grassroots organization with physical contact among members and individuals who have the opportunity to meet each other from time to time. And this opportunity granted is as a result of the nature of how Biafrans live communally because we have always been communal people. And as a communal people, you do not take your communal issues out of your community. You do not take your communal issues out of your community. No matter what happens, we have always resolved our issues communally as a people. That is our culture. And this culture naturally was also imbibed from part of our integration in the formation of IPOB. That is why we have meetings. You meet with your brothers in your units based on your locations, based on where you found yourself. Sometimes people even drive or travel kilometers away to go on IPOB meetings. Kilometers. I've met people, even myself, where I go on a meeting, I have to drive 5 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes going, 2 hours, 30 minutes coming, 5 hours to be able to participate in my, to be part of the unit. Why? Because I lived in that region. I lived in that region at some point, but when I left the region, I already built a kind of bond with my unit where I participate. So, despite the fact that there could also be some other IPOB unit around me, the bond I have built over the years with the unit where I started I have maintained that bond that it becomes, in fact, almost impossible for me to start looking for any other IPOB unit close to me. That is to show you how important it is to build a community, that it goes just beyond forming a unit. There are a lot of things you share in common with your comrades. There are a lot of ideas and views, people who really understand you. Because when you look at how Biafra land is formed, there are people who associate more with other communities outside their own community because that is where they find their comfort. So what you see within IPOB is our natural way of living. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu adopted this natural formation formula, imbibed it in IPOB because it is part of our culture. IPOB was not formed outside the culture and the belief of the Biafran people. So anybody who have now woke up overnight to start operating differently need to be questioned if you still claim you belong within this community. And that is what we have done in the past 1 week. Trying to question certain individuals who feel that they can operate differently. Because as far as and as long as we know, there are conflict resolution committees, even within IPOB, from the leadership, where you can lay your concerns and issues dealt with appropriately. And if you feel that your issues are not well handled, there are still options where you can, exercise patience. Knowing that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, we need to put that at the front burner of everything we are doing. So anytime you see people abandon the main objective, Osita Isiwu, you're welcome, Tony Ordina, all these guys are watching from our YouTube channel and I want to recognize your presence. Tony Ordina and Osita Isiwu, Welcome to the program. Now, like I was saying earlier, anybody who have decided to fault the structures of IPOB to start doing things differently have to be questioned, especially when it has to do with trying to destroy the highest body that administers daily runnings of IPOB, which is the leadership. Any attempt on targeting the leadership of IPOB sends a very strong threat, not just to the leadership alone, but the entire IPOB body, and you do not expect anything less than a response. And in the past 1 week, we have also involved in responding to some of the blackmails. At every point in time that people deviate, at every point in time that people tend to push their own individual and personal narrative, they always create reasons to do so. And if I personally also choose in the future to disrespect the leadership of IPOB, I would definitely create a reason, a justifiable reason to do so. And that is what we have seen. People creating reasons, trying to justify them. And as a matter of fact, there are so many reasons to criticize the leadership. Just like you also have leadership all over the world, both the leadership that are succeeding and the ones that are not doing well. There are always reasons to criticize any leadership. I have my reason. I have a million reasons to criticize IPOB leadership. I have my million reasons to criticize Biafrans. And I also have million reasons to criticize the Biafra struggle, even as an IPOB member. But this is where the issue of you understanding the reason why you are in IPOB comes in, like I said earlier from the beginning. Because, most of the time, our people do not understand issues and how issues should be handled or how issues should be dealt with. If you are coming into IPOB and you want to be part of IPOB, you want to belong to the body of IPOB, automatically you become part of the family. You become part of the system. And when you are part of the system, you have a responsibility to yourself. You have a responsibility to that system as well. And your responsibility as an individual, your responsibility to your organization, to the system you are part of, is to join hand in making that system perfect. Your responsibility as a member of IPOB is to join hand in perfecting IPOB as a body and as an organization. So wherever there are loopholes and shortcomings, you have a role to play in making sure that things are put right. Wherever you feel, I've seen people say, oh, injustice. Wherever there are injustice, everybody have a role in making contribution in strengthening the justice system. How do you do that? Not by trying to tear the house down, but by pointing out and making sure that things are corrected appropriately through the right channel. It might take a long time because most of the time justice doesn't come overnight. They might take time. I'm going to give you examples. Because I always use myself as an example. I have had a scenario where a principal officer of IPOB, who was a major coordinator in Biafra land, deviated and started attacking the DOS where he belonged. He was a member of DOS. I don't want to call names in this program because he has been kicked out of DOS. He started maligning the same DOS where he belonged. He was coming on Facebook to abuse the same DOS that he belonged to. And you start to imagine a member of DOS who is now criticizing the same DOS where he belonged to. You start to question, does he really know why he's in the DOS, or does he understand his role as a member of the DOS? So, but when I noticed this track of event, I had to continually bring this evidence. I had to continually bring some of the insult that he was making on social media against the leadership. I continued consistently to forward these concerns to the head of Directorate of State, Mazi. And it took a very, very long time. It was like Mazi was not paying attention. But I knew he was taking note. I have never had any form of direct interaction with Mazi. Never, ever before. Never, even up to today. I've never met him one-on-one. We've never had a direct chat. Never. But through the appropriate channel, I was sending consistently the evidence of the treachery of this member of the Directorate of State through the normal process. I didn't come on social media to attack him. And I also told him, my brother, I'm not going to attack you on social media. I'm not going to respond to your comment section because I understand your position in the leadership. Despite all your misbehaviors on social media, I'm still going to continue to respect that your position as a member of the DOS. But my duty as an IPOB member is to take some of these complaints through the proper channel to the head of Directorate of State. It was as if, because his actions on social media became embarrassing. His action on social media became a very huge embarrassment because he have chosen to pursue his own personal goal by joining some other group of individuals who feel that they can run down the Directorate of State or the leadership of IPOB. But I made sure I didn't go on social media to abuse him or insult him. Rather, I took my complaints consistently. At every point he made a post against the leadership of IPOB, which he is part of, I copied those posts and sent them directly through the right channel to the head of Directorate of State. Until for months, it took months before the head of Directorate of State made up their mind with enough evidence that they have to remove him officially. And today he's no longer with the DOS. Just imagine if I had gone on direct attack on social media, I wouldn't have gotten that justice. I wouldn't have gotten the justice because we have seen in IPOB on so many occasions where certain individuals organize themselves and go on a mob attack on individuals who they feel have gone against the rules without going through the proper channel. You know, even on a conventional arrangement where you catch a thief, for example, you take the thief, you put tire on his neck and set him ablaze, which is a jungle justice. You cannot carry out a jungle justice on your fellow comrade and expect IPOB leadership again to give you another justice. This is what so many of our comrades in the media have done. They have carried out justice, jungle justice on somebody they perceive is their enemy, and they are still calling on IPOB leadership again to come and give them justice because they feel offended by maybe possibly the way the person talked about them on social media, or the way the person opposed them, or the way the person insulted them. You cannot carry a jungle justice and still expect IPOB leadership to intervene to give you justice when you have disregarded them without going through the proper channel to submit your concerns or your petition or evidence. It is not done. We are talking of on a normal conventional setting. So if you want justice, you have to go through the normal process, no matter how long it's going to take. Because you believe in the system, you believe in the structure you have found yourself. So most of the people you see insulting the leadership today, that the leadership didn't give them justice on certain issues, these are people who have already taken justice by themselves by going through the jungle justice process, by coming on social media to return back the insult that was given to them by their fellow comrade. A fellow comrade insults you on social media, and you insult back, you abuse back, and you are still calling the leadership of IPOB to come and intervene, to come and punish him, when all of you are on the same circle of distraction. Biafrans, hold on please for a moment. So, my duty here is to educate her, because what happens is most of the time, some of these individuals try to build a narrative where they seek for support from innocent Biafrans on social media who does not even understand the core issues behind the scene. And you just see naive Biafrans innocently supporting them, naively supporting people who are pursuing their own personal interests and agenda within the IPOB family, creating unnecessary distraction. Many people who have found themselves in IPOB have proven over time that they do not even believe in the structure where they claim they belong. They do not believe in the structure where they have found themselves through their own actions. Because if you believe in the structure of IPOB, you will go through the normal process to seek for redress. You go through the normal process to present your issues. You cannot come on social media abusing your fellow comrade and still calling the leadership to come and intervene when you have already taken an internal issue to the social media. So where do the leadership come in? How do they come in? Many comrades do not have the patience to wait for justice they seek to be given to them. So they decided to take the laws into their own hands. Many have even accused me of impartiality and hypocrisy because I didn't join their own cause to fight their own individual personal battle and interest. Because most of the time, when you do not join their shenanigan, they say you are not man enough to call out this comrade for his misbehavior. But I do not have a duty to call out a comrade for his misbehavior. My duty is to report the misbehavior of any comrade to the appropriate authority through the right channel. Because as long as we are on the journey together and there is a leadership that is in charge, if you really trust the leadership and you believe in the leadership, then you should take your concern to this leadership. But when you take laws into your hand, you have automatically disarmed the leadership from taking action. It becomes two fighting. I remember those days when we were in school. While we were in school, uh, the structure of the school system is very, very simple. If somebody, uh, you know, let me use pidgin English. If somebody find your trouble, if somebody upsets you, and you decide to fight back, it becomes two fighting. Because the school system is set up in a way that if somebody offends you, what you do is you take your concern to the appropriate authority. That is how the school system functions. You take your concern to the appropriate authority for redress. But the moment you decide to fight back, it becomes two fighting. You, even when you are right, you become wrong. Even when you are in the right, you'll be also faulted because you didn't go through the proper system for redress. And that is why we have what we have seen in IPOB over time, where people have decided to take laws into their own hands. And you cannot take laws into your hands and expect the leadership to intervene. So many of them have chosen the path of blackmailing IPOB leadership for their own personal cause and interest in Biafra struggle. The line is open because I know that many people would want to call in. If you want to call in, you want to ask your question, you want to make any contribution, the number on the screen is +39 388 177 9665. Do you know why I have decided to come on board? Because I see that the level of ignorance, the level of ignorance is huge. The level of ignorance is huge. A lot of people are supporting things they do not even understand. Many people take side on issues without understanding the cause of the issues. And many people who are, projecting themselves and presenting these issues can never tell the story the way it is. They will tell the story to favor themselves, the way it will suit the public, the way it will suit their own narrative, the way it will favor them. They can never tell you the true story, how it will not favor them. They cannot take any blame or any form of responsibility. So that is why many of us, we have been in the media for a very long time. Before you see me come out to criticize any comrade, many of you know Mazi, Ikem, Patrick. I do not come out to criticize any comrade, except I receive a directive to do so. And I do not come out on social media to fight even those who have fought me. I've never fought back. I have received report of people attacking my personality, insulting and abusing me, but I've never fought back because I do not want that distraction. But when you see me on social media coming out to weigh in on issues, my position is always based on a higher ground because it is authorized. I'm authorized to do so. So it is very, very important that we clear this point. We have also seen certain individuals try to introduce certain extremist ideology into the movement. We have seen people try to introduce certain extremist ideologies with so much hatred in their hearts, with so much bitterness in their hearts. And you start to ask, is this personal, or are we really fighting for a nation? Because if we understand that we are fighting for a nation, there is nothing personal in this struggle. When you start taking issues personal in the Biafra struggle, then it becomes your own personal agenda. It becomes your own personal program. You are no longer fighting for Biafran people. People have engaged themselves in their own personal agenda. Because if you are fighting for Biafrans and you are fighting for the general interest of the Biafran people, and you are given an instruction to stop on a particular project or on a particular issue, you wouldn't waste time to back down. But when you are pursuing your own personal interest and you are asked to stop, you cannot stop because it is your personal interest. It has nothing to do with the interest of the people. So that is what you have seen in many occasions where the leadership will give instruction and people disobey because they are pursuing their own personal interest. Where the leadership will say cease fire, and you see them continue because they are pursuing their own personal interest. We have a caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program. Good morning from here.
Mazi Patrick, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Can you tell us your name and where you are calling from, please?
Yes, my name is Onyeka, and I'm calling from the United Kingdom.
Onyeka, welcome to the program.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the topic of discussion today on BTV. Yeah, particularly is something that is really necessary at this point, and I'm happy that you are anchoring this program and your line of thought. I just wanted to contribute to the discussion. You see, in IPOB, one thing we cannot afford to toy with, even Mazi Kanu said it, is indiscipline. Indiscipline creeping into IPOB is like a cancer, and if we allow it to come in, it's going to destroy IPOB. The success IPOB has made so far is anchored on a mantra of command and control, and IPOB being a very disciplined movement. So any form of indiscipline should not be allowed to come in. And we'll start seeing this indiscipline coming into one of the key pillars of IPOB, which is the media. And you know that media is the image of a movement. Once we allow our the media to to be toyed with, or allowing discipline to come into to it is going to destroy what we are doing. And I know some of our comrades and brothers that are instigating this indiscipline. You know, many of us has personally, either both privately and in public, tried to call them to order, but they continue to do what they are doing. I don't know why they are doing so, because I can't imagine them thinking in their head that they're going to set members of IPOB against the leadership. No matter what, no matter the imperfection in leadership, nobody is perfect. We cannot allow anybody to castigate the leadership in any form or under any
Mazi,
guise at all.
let me just interject. Then I would allow you to continue. When IPOB was formed and people were brought together to be part of this project, we didn't form. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't form IPOB on perfection. If he had formed IPOB on perfection, he wouldn't have needed a leadership structure that will help him guide and lead the IPOB. So he would have on his own carried the Biafra mantra to the Nigerian government. But he built their IPOB structure so that everybody will bring in their energy to perfect the process. So when you see any form of imperfection, you have a responsibility to make contribution towards perfecting it and not using it as a yardstick to disobedience. Mazi, go ahead.
Exactly. And, you know, if they think that we will support them against leadership, they have to think again, not in this world. Because the leadership has to be protected. You see, the leadership is the major pillar, the Roko, that is holding the movement. You see, I always see it, I said to one of them, privately, that look, what people are trying to do is like we are in a boat, in a ship, and the captain is DOS and the leadership selling the ship. And you say, oh, because you don't like the leadership, you don't like one of the captain or one of the crew member, then we should do a coup and destroy them. If we destroy them, we all sink, even including you yourself that is instigating it. You sink with us. So instead of us to rather fight the leadership, we rather throw you overboard and keep the leadership, because that's the safest thing to do, And the same thing goes to even myself too. If I'm causing problem in IPOB and the IPOB members or members are to choose between myself and the leadership, I would rather they choose the leadership against me, because that's the best. That's the best thing for the movement. And to be honest with you, no matter what perceived injury you feel that has been meted to you, there are channels in IPOB which you will follow and get your issue addressed. Not coming to the because you have a platform, you come and be using it to blackmail leadership and then speak anything you like against leadership. Probably because you felt that the top leadership will not have time, or it should not even descend so low to come to social media to begin to answer you, and you be emotionally blackmailing them, painting one-sided story. And I'm also ashamed of some of our members that are actually supporting them. But I know it's a few of them. Most of the people supporting them actually are not core IPOB members. They are most likely people that are even against what you are doing, and that is even clapping for this bunch of indisciplined individuals. So what I'm saying in essence is that I'm advising my comrades, IPOB members all over the place, all over the world, that they should ignore this bunch of indisciplined people. We can never allow them to destroy the leadership, because by destroying the leadership, they destroy what we are doing. Rather, we should ignore them or even throw them overboard and move on with what we are doing. You know, if they are tired of going with us, they are not ready to obey orders. They are not ready to work within the structure of IPOB. They should go and they should leave quietly and allow those that are willing to continue within the structure of IPOB to continue to march on. And again, Mazi, I also saw the poster people released about media retreat. I'm very happy with that, and I think it's a commendable move, because I think at interval the media people should come together, have a retreat, refine their strategy, refine how they do things, and then move forward. I would like to make one suggestion, regarding that. I think whoever is in charge of the media should also talk to the media people to choose their language carefully, even when they are talking against opposition, so that it won't be as if we're just doing sagas or we are not using the right appropriate words. I think some of the words some of our media people use are not appropriate. I'm not saying particularly you. I don't want to call any name, but I just think that we should look at that and refine
Mazi, I understand you 100%. So that is where the issue of dealing with temperament comes in. Everybody cannot be like Mazi Ikem. My own understanding of approaching issues might be different from others, but that is also where this argument of perfection comes in. Because if we have the mindset of understanding that we do not have a perfect organization and that we all have a contribution to make in perfecting our IPOB and making it a worldwide recognized organization, we'll continue to work ourselves on every day. We continue to work on our attitude every day, so that in any position you find yourself, you don't need the IPOB to come and give you training. You can, on your own, go and make personal research on self-improvement. If you are in the media,
Mazi.
Yes.
But Mazi, you see, one thing I know is that we are all different, as you said. People have different temperament, different character, different probably background they're coming from. But in a movement, the movement need to tell people. I know IPOB has code of conduct, even in the media. Where people refuse to still obey it. But what I'm trying to say is that there should be a constant reminder, opportunity, that to remind them that this is the way you should conduct yourself. This is what is expected of you, so that we'll start removing all those their excesses from them, because people carry their character into a movement. You should, if you are really wise and smart, you should know that you should imbibe the culture of the movement you find yourself in. Your personal character or emotion should be secondary. When you come into a movement, you should imbibe the culture of it. I don't know whether I'm making sense here, because
Mazi,
we all work in different.
You are making a whole lot of sense, 100%.
We are working in different organizations. I know we have our workplaces, but even if you come to your workplaces, there are certain things in that workplaces that you might not necessarily agree with. But you should not go.
Mazi, I think you haven't found the right word to qualify your adjective. You have to subject yourself. Self-subjection. You must remove every atom of pride and arrogance and ego in you. Mazi, I have had situations where people come to me and say, "Oh, Mazi Ikem, what you are doing and all that." Most of the issues we have is that our people tend to boost the ego of those who are making contributions. And if you do not checkmate yourself, you fall victim. And that is why it is very, very important you do not allow your contribution get into you. Because people are going to come to you and give you praises.
Exactly.
I have seen people come to me to praise me, and when I look at them, I feel sorry for them because they do not understand why I'm making my own little contribution. That I don't even need all those praises. I don't even need any thank you from anybody. Why you also have people who, if they don't feel appreciated, they become upset that nobody is recognizing their effort. So you must subject yourself to the point where you need to understand your purpose in the struggle for Biafra restoration. That is not for self-aggrandizement. It is not for self-glory. It is not for you to be noticed, but it is for you to serve and make your little contribution so that we'll be able to walk in line with our principles to deliver Biafra to our people.
Okay, Mazi, yes, it's good to appreciate people, and it's good, as you said, if you are being appreciated, you should never allow it to get into your head. And I want every IPOB member to know that the reason why we are in this struggle is not really for any other person than for our own self and for our unborn generation to come. That's why we're in this. Why we are in this fight. And to me, the anybody, the people that should feel that they've done much or enough, as far as I'm concerned, are people that have paid the ultimate sacrifice so far for this struggle. Those are the people that I will say, yes, we need to glorify them. We need to say, yes, they've done it. But all of us still in this struggle, no matter what we've contributed, no matter what we've done in this struggle, as far as I'm concerned, we have no reason to take any glory until we restore the Biafra, until we get what we are looking for. If today now Biafra come, if you now want to take all the glory, fine. The job is done. But now the job is not done. And we are all still in the process of getting the job done. You know, you shouldn't at any time feel that you've done more than the other person. How do you quantify that? You don't even know the extent of what Mr. A, Mr. B, that I might not even see are doing. There are a lot of people in this struggle that are hidden, but they are doing so much, but people don't even know, and then they're not even being appreciated, and they don't bother themselves. If you feel that you've done so much, my brother or my sister, stop thinking like that.
Yes,
until
that
job is done.
That brings me to a typical example. Recently, we had an event in Ferrara, Italy. And this event took place, and from just little gathering, it became a global summit. We saw people come from all over the world, UK, all over the place. I don't want to start mentioning names.
It was a great event.
Yes,
I watched it. It was a great event.
It was a great event. We had also entertainment where food was presented, and some almost at the end of the event, I saw a comrade. I saw this comrade, all his hands were dirty. And I said, what is going on? He said, Una put me for backyard, they roast yam. Because we ate yam in that event. He said, now for backyard I they roast yam. This comrade never came to take microphone to speak. Exactly. This comrade was completely invisible in the course of the entire program because he was at the back door preparing food.
You can see that now.
His hand.
This is your story.
He came with a charcoal dirtied hand. And we have so many people in this struggle with charcoal dirty hand walking behind the scene without even being noticed, Mazi. That gave me some sort of reflection.
Exactly.
And all through, nobody even recognized him or told him any thank you. But you will see the smile on his face because he
Exactly.
felt he has done what he's assigned to do, and he did it with gratitude. Mazi, go ahead.
Yeah. After all, in our national, Biafra, you can boot without counting the cost each day. That is what we are under oath to do. So people should not feel that they are done more than the others. And more so, I have according to our Igbo people, Mbiasiwo Gonogo, who is longer, who is shorter. That's not the essence of this struggle. People should focus on the job we have at hand, and forget about all this personal thing. We should focus on the collective effort, collective good, collective interest, and let our personal interest, dwindle. Maybe I should use the analogy from the Bible, where John told his disciple, Jesus will have to increase while I decrease. We should follow the same principle here. As an ordinary member of IPOB, our personal interest should decrease while our collective interest should be increasing, and in that way we'll get it right, Mazi. That's my own contribution, Mazi.
I really appreciate your coming to this program, and even at the comment section, people have commended you. This is quite interactive for me. I'm waiting for more calls. I'm waiting for more questions. I'm waiting for more input and contribution. This is BTV Europe Live coming to you today, 13th of April 2025, and it's a Sunday, and it's my pleasure. My name is Ikem Patrick DK, and we have our first caller who have gallantly, I would say, expressed his thought, and it is quite interactive. Mazi Oyeka, thank you very much for that contribution.
Darling, my brother and comrade, God bless you.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. So, Biafrans all over the world, I expect more calls to come in. Make your contributions. I don't know if I have calls already, but I believe that calls will be coming in. The number on the screen is +39 388 177 9665. +39 388 177 9665. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. And somebody just made a comment here, and he said, Osita Iwu said, what about men of ESN? No one knows them. Nobody knows them. These are men roasting yam in the bush for Biafrans to eat. They are protecting our land, and they are not coming to the media. They do not even have that privilege of coming to the media to come and speak. Nobody knows them. And these are the people sacrificing every day, putting their lives on the line to make sure that our bushes are safe. Just imagine that the type of indiscipline we have in the media is also being transferred on the ground for men of our Eastern Security Network. Who is going to protect our bushes? Who is going to do that job? Where some people feel that they have been able to gather a particular amount of audience, so they now start feeling that they are leaders too. Because, what deceived some people in the past and what have also deceived so many is because when they look at the amount of followership on social media, they see maybe 50,000 followers, they see 100,000 followers, they feel they have arrived to become leader. They now feel that they can group these people to start forming their own gangs. They feel that they have become the mouthpiece, that they cannot challenge the leadership because they have followers, people shouting and applauding them online. It is quite pathetic and unfortunate. But we are here to set the record straight that the formation of IPOB was not built on the altar, on the ground of perfection. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu built IPOB, he didn't build a perfect union because he understands that he's going to use every Biafran to make things work for the interest of Biafran people. So that wherever there are imperfections, we all work together in making it perfect. Going through the normal process. I've seen people say we are criticizing the leadership. We are criticizing DOS. Who are you to criticize DOS? If everybody start criticizing one another, do you think we'll be able to move forward? By the way, the criticism that they claim their criticism is not actually criticism. What you see is attack. What you see is an attack. And there is this video that they have been flying around as well. There is this video that they have been, these people say that claim they are criticizing DOS. There is this video that they have been flying around where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made a statement and said that you should not be afraid or speak the truth before your enemy. They use it to back up their claim. They use it to back up their claim. I have seen them share this video. Do not, what the core principles of IPOB, according to our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, do not be afraid before your enemy. Always speak the truth before your enemy. And you start to ask them, you say you are criticizing DOS, and you are posting the video of where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say you should not be afraid or be afraid of your enemy or speak the truth before your enemy. And you now start to ask them, have the DOS now become your enemy? Have you now tagged DOS your enemy, that in your own mind you are speaking the truth to your enemy? So that goes a long way to show you how they view the Directorate of State. They see the DOS as their enemy. So when you now start seeing the DOS as your enemy, it is no longer criticism. When you feel that you are speaking the truth to your enemy by talking to the DOS, automatically it is no longer criticism. Because what this bunch of individuals have tried to do is to carve out some of the speeches of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and give it a completely different meaning that will suit their agenda and their narrative. Because when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made the statement about you not being afraid of your enemy, he wasn't referring to the Directorate of State. He wasn't referring to fellow Biafrans. He was talking about our oppressors. He was telling us how we should approach the Nigerian state, that we must stand tall and speak the truth before our oppressors. And you ask them, are the DOS oppressing you? Is the DOS your oppressor? For you to be flying the video, somebody even came to my comment section to tell me that one of the core principles of IPOB is you must speak the truth before your enemy. And I start to ask, are the DOS you are attacking, have they become your enemy? And when have DOS become your enemy? I'm expecting more calls. The number is on the screen. +39 388 177 9665. I want this program to be as for many of you who also have questions. You don't have to necessarily come to, you can bring your questions forward, because this is a rare opportunity for us to interact. It is a rare opportunity. This opportunity might never come for some time. So I want it to be, I want calls to come in. I want calls to come in. Call in, ask your question, and talk to me. Whatever concern you have, I've said it. If you really, in your heart of heart, know that you belong to IPOB, you know where to channel your concerns. The moment you bring out the IPOB internal issue to social media, you have violated the code of conduct. And you can never expect to get any response on social media because the DOS does not resolve IPOB internal issues on social media. You cannot be attacking your fellow comrade on social media and you expect the DOS to come and join you on social media, to come and join you on social media for your saga. You know, so the mathematics and the calculations are very, very simple. Very, very simple. So I want calls to come in. For those who feel concerned, for those who have questions to answer, for those who have questions to ask, you have the room. You have the room to ask your questions. And the room is open. The channel is open. This is BTV Live. We're going to have also a retreat and conference coming up, a media retreat and conference coming up next week, Saturday and Sunday, which is on Saturday 19th and the 20th of April 2025. It's going to be a 2-day retreat and conference here live on Biafra television, and we're going to talk about harnessing the advantages of what the media have to offer us in the 21st century, so that we'll be able to understand the importance of the advantage we have today and make the best use of it. And I'll be giving out my opening speech. In that program. And I want to invite every Biafran to join us. We are going to discuss international diplomacy and politics. We're also going to discuss the issues of the Nigerian military trying to lobby our traditional rulers to convince our young people to join the military. We are going to discuss all these issues. It's going to be issues that we put on the table. So I urge every Biafran to join us on this 2-day media retreat, where we are going to rub minds together as a people to bring to you, Biafrans, the role you should be playing, objective roles. We cannot afford to misuse the opportunity that this generation have offered us in communicating our plight to the world. We cannot afford to miss it. It is a golden opportunity that we must all embrace and take advantage of. So while I wait for your calls, for those who want to ask questions, I want to return back to our earlier discussion of the attitude of some of our comrades. The attitude of some of our comrades who have taken it upon themselves, for whatsoever reason best known to them, to try to destroy what we are collectively building because of their own personal interest and ego. Until you get to the point where you rid yourself of ego and pride. Until you get to yourself to the point where you have to subject yourself to order, even when it doesn't favor you. Until you get to the point where you subject yourself to command, even when that command is not in your favor. Until you get to that point, I would suggest and I would advise you get out of IPOB and go and work on yourself first. If you have not gotten to that point, then there is no need being in IPOB. Because IPOB is not a place where issues favor you. IPOB is not a place where order will favor you. Sometimes you might even think that you are being, that is, you even see things that happen. You say, ah, this thing is injustice. In your own eyes, you see certain things that happen, you say, ah, this thing is injustice because it is not in your favor. Because it is not in your favor. So it is very, very important that we understand. I just hope that you will understand that IPOB is a place where you have to bring yourself as a burnt offering, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have brought himself as a burnt offering, where you get rid of every personal interest and ego, because it is a collective effort to make things work for everybody. Where our imperfections would be perfected. Let us take another call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good afternoon
Good
from
afternoon,
here. Welcome
Patrick. Yeah. Can you hear me clearly?
Absolutely. Go ahead,
Okay.
Wada.
Hello, Biafrans. My name is Ogechukwu, and I'm calling from UK here. Yeah, Patrick, I want to say that this program is such a wonderful one. In this very particular period, a lot of issues are being raised. A lot of things are going on. Yeah, because many a times, some people that do not understand the need of doing certain things will always end up abusing that particular thing. Many a times when we talk about protecting the struggle includes protecting the leadership. Many a times I will always say there is no perfect human being anywhere. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a very good and intelligent man, but we wouldn't say that he's 100%. We all protected and shielded him because we know that he is the image of this movement. Now, to some people that do try to, I will use the word ridicule, because there's a difference between criticizing or even asking questions and ridiculing. Because what I saw recently is a kind of an attempt to ridicule, to water down the structure, to water down the people at the hem of it. Anytime this DOS is destroyed, this movement has apparently been brought down. That is one thing everybody has to have at the back of their mind, because there's no organization that leads itself. It's always a particular set of people that pilots it. There's one very particular argument or line of thought some people are bringing in this very period. Some people will say that it's not the leadership that are being criticized, that what they are doing, that they are selecting the bad fruits among the leadership. And I remember I used one example with someone. I said, okay, you have admitted that leadership is like a structure. When you have a structure, a building, and you have individual members within, then I use like a building structure where you have pillars holding a structure. And you are telling me that you want to bring out one individual to talk about them, to destroy them. It's like bringing out a pillar, even a pillar. One single pillar holding a structure, once is affected, is capable of collapsing a whole structure. Even if there is a problem with a particular pillar, it calls for particular attention to look at it, check it, make amendments. Otherwise, it's capable of destroying a whole structure. That's always the narrative I use. Because what I have seen so far is not even a correction or asking questions. It is ridiculing. When you come to social media to say that so how many you select more than 4 or 5 members of the leadership to water them down in the social media, what you have done a very big damage to the whole structure. Even one only. Just like you have said, you have laid it out. In IPOB, there are principles of things. There's a channels for communication, for conflict resolution. And you made mention that it can only, even if it takes time. Because you that wanted to correct a particular, according to you, corrupt seed or corrupt pillar, you know that any what will I use it? Any attempt not to do things the way it should be has an adverse effect for the whole building. So the issue here is IPOB is known. Discipline is the anchor. If you don't follow that channel of command, you want to do it your own way. Because what I notice here is all about personal interest. The people want to protect themselves. They want to project themselves. They want to show how important they are. They don't care about the building, the structure.
You know, I use instances. I use instances to drive my point. You know, there are people, when you are on a journey with them, as soon as they get tired of the journey, they want to take everybody backward. I listened to one Yoruba man. He said he joined some people on a journey to Libya to cross to Europe. He said there are some Igbo, a lot of Igbos in that journey. And he said, as a Yoruba person, after he got to a point, he felt exhausted. And he decided to return back. And he tried to discourage the rest of the crew that this journey can no longer continue because he's exhausted. But because what he was trying to paint as the resilience of the Igbos, that the Igbos within the group of that journey told him that they do not have anywhere to go back to. Because as long as they have set their eyes on the goal, that they will get to their destination. But he himself, as a Yoruba man, returned back. So what we have seen is a situation where certain individuals are tired of the struggle. They are exhausted. And it is in human nature that when you get exhausted on a journey, you would like to have some sort of justification so that you don't feel like a failure. Because when the number of people you take along backward with you will give you that sense of justification. Say, after all, not be only me. Go back. What? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm following. What you are saying is correct.
Because if you have to drop and go back alone and drop on your own, you would live with that guilt of being a failure. So what you have seen are people who are already exhausted in this journey and they don't want to go down alone because they will see themselves as failures. So the number of people they are able to discourage will help them to remain at least a bit, will give them some level of encouragement. After all, not be only me, stop the Biafra, stop on the way. We are many. Because if they have to drop alone, they will always see themselves as failures. But when you have one or two failures with you, it will give you some level of encouragement. Say, after all, not be only me, drop. You understand what I'm saying? Because yes, because we saw the number of people who have also fallen victim to this, effort they are putting. Many of them no longer attend their meetings. Many of them no longer make any kind of contribution because they themselves too are not even participating in anything. So it gives them that courage that to care for. It's also, that we are many that left. So the issue of criticizing IPOB leadership is just a kind of cover up, so that they will say, because the leadership is not working, the struggle is stagnant. So after all, the struggle is stagnant. Mwada, go ahead.
Yeah, and yes, what you said is true. And I will always add is a pointer that such a person has like an ulterior motive of joining in the first place. We are like in a race where at times some people might get tired. I remember one of the posts Mazi Chinasa made one time. He said, if you are tired, the best thing is to rest, recuperate, and you can come back and continue. That's what it is. But when you come in and your plan is that because you are tired, because you want to drop, then you want to draw many alongside. It shows that you did not come with a genuine mind. You have a plan. Many a times, when you use that, when you use certain words to describe some people, it looks like maybe you are accusing them or you are blackmailing them. But at times, when you look at the whole picture to understand exactly what could be the motives behind certain behaviors, then you might start to think, oh, are we sure this person is not paid? Are you sure this person is not on any agenda or anything just to bring down this movement? Because just as you said earlier, the problem some of people have is when you have gathered trust, anybody in this IPOB media space, that people are following you or that you have gathered a big platform, is a privilege that people invested on you because you were speaking about Biafra, and that privilege is just temporary. Anytime you begin to mess around, there are intelligent people that will always decode you. Once that starts to happen, those privileges you thought you have gathered, you start to lose them gradually. Many a times, at times when we fight for all these things, it looks like some people will say, oh, because you hate the so-so because he is speaking so-so. No. In this issue, there's nothing like any personal thing here. I have fallen out because of this same issue with very good friends. I remember here in UK, I don't want to mention anybody's name. There are two men earlier we started until they were deceived by siblings of our leader. We were too close. But once I saw where they are going, because they were friends, I tried to call them number of times to speak to them. That I'm not with them. But they continued. I have to leave them. Even we had a very serious things going on at the background. It's not about personal thing. What we are talking about, something capable of collapsing the whole movement. There is no ship that drives itself. Once a pilot in the plane is destroyed, the whole plane is in a great danger. The whole thing will crash. That is the danger of this game some of these people are playing. And some of us that saw it cannot stand it. That's why we are beginning to speak. That's why we said no. There's no personal fights going on. But what we are doing is to protect this thing so many people has died for.
Can you just give me 1 minute before you continue? Because there is this notion, I have said it earlier. When we, like you said, when we involve ourselves, because I know you also, you are not the kind of person who comes on media to abuse people. I know you are the kind of person who, as much as you don't tolerate, but you don't just jump into the media to take to avenge or revenge on on issues. Now, it is important that we educate our people to understand that anytime you see us go on a media war, we are not on a media war to attack anybody.
Not at all.
We are not on a media war, but the media war we have found ourselves had always been on the defensive. Because we do not go about attacking people.
No.
Rather, we have been on the part of defense. So what you have seen in this past week have been defense. And the defense is a defense of the honor that we have as a people. The defense of the honor that we have as a family. We are defending IPOB honor, which is the leadership. Because any structure that has no leadership have no honor.
Of course.
Any people that have no leadership have no honor. So when you see us stand up to defend the Directorate of State and the leadership of IPOB, we are defending the honor in which we stand upon on this movement.
Exactly.
Because anytime the leadership is rubbished, then we no longer have any honor.
Exactly.
As a people.
Exactly.
Just for example, let us just take as example, where you go to your local village and some group of people from nowhere just came in and dragged the king of your village outside and beat him on the street. How does it make you feel? Well, I don't know if I'm communicating. Do you think that the disgrace and embarrassment is on the king? No,
it's on the entire community.
It is on the people. So the Biafran people must understand where our fight is coming from to defend our honor as a people. Wanda, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly, Patrick. And many a times, what we are defending here is the office, not an individual. Anybody occupying any office, just like you've used a king of a community, if you destroy the head of a family, the family will always have that mark, that wound, permanently left on that family. Be it the father, be it the mother, there has been a crack created which might not be able to be mended or be fixed back. So when we are trying to defend an office, just like some are peddling, because this person is corrupt, that's why we want to deal with him or her. Now, when you want to water down someone occupying an office, let's say, for example, a national coordinator, you brought a national coordinator on a social media, you branded him one nasty name and you begin to destroy him. You begin to water him down. You begin to give different have believed in you as one of the IPOB media. People that have trusted you, people that have believed that you were speaking in the interest of the movement. Then, after destroying an image of a national coordinator, meanwhile, you have people under him, under his command, listening to you. What you have done, you have automatically destroyed that very office. Because that same person, that national coordinator occupying that office, anytime he stands to speak, his members or people under his command that have had garbages spoken about him have automatically lost interest and respect for such a person. What the person have done, they have successfully destroyed that very office. And this is exactly what we are fighting for. If you tell me that so rep is this and that, and you want to destroy him, what you have done, you have destroyed the whole people under him. You have destroyed his office. And that will have a negative influence, negative impact, adverse effect on the very people, on that very office he or she is occupying. That's what we are saying. There has never been an issue that has been settled on social media. Because when you remember when this issue started, it's been long. This thing has taken years. Many a times, people should start to check the effect of the move they have taken. You cannot be continue on one particular lane without getting to a destination, and you think it's right for you to keep going. You said initially that any issue you bring out in the social media, that means you are expected to solve it yourself. When
Absolutely.
you make yeah, when you make a complaint, after making a complaint, you don't even want to give a space to people that you've laid the complaint to. Rather, you want to go and fight it. There's no need of you going back again to complain. Why have you not solved it? Because you have taken your part. You made a
You
complaint
have
and at the
taken
same time
laws
you
into
want
your
to
own
fight it
hands.
out.
You
Exactly.
cannot take laws into your own hands and still expect. You cannot give justice, jungle justice to your fellow comrades and still be calling on the leadership to come and give you another justice.
Exactly. And this is the foundation of this problem that has lingered so on. Remember, when the complaint is made, it's left for the team to think and decide the finest part of resolution they want to use to settle the matter. If you made a complaint and you are given a guide of what to do, you have a problem with your comrade. You guys are on a call in the social media and you are asked to stop. When you go to your platform, don't mention any comrade's name in your platform. It's a rule. And once is a rule, is an order. And that is why IPOB is a disciplined movement. If you cannot follow order, that means it's not for you. Some of the people we have in the society, our fellow Biafrans, when you look at them, you can tell that IPOB is not for them. They might be good, but they are not the kind that will follow the movement's directives. There's no need of coming close to IPOB. Even from the oath we are taking, it is stated there. Loyalty. If you don't have it, there's no need of coming close because you will corrupt the system, and because a lot of energies, a lot of lives have gone down. Such a negative energy that you want to bring in, you will not be allowed. Because we understand that if you allow, you will corrupt the whole system. And that's what we are fighting here. If you watch the last 3 years or 4 years, when Ekperiman and his group came on board, I remember they started to use one thing they were saying, the truth, the truth. Ekirima is saying the truth. Anywhere you go, they're saying it's truth. He's saying truth, truth, truth. Now, when you come in with the scenario of favoritism, marginalization, and you want to capitalize favoritism, you will find that there's nothing like favoritism there. Rather, is your inability to follow command. It is selfishness. You want things to be resolved your own way.
No, Wada,
You don't want to
when
follow
you see,
command.
Wada, when you hear them talk about favoritism, it is because things did not go their own way.
Exactly.
When things do not go the way you wish them or you want them to go, you feel disenchanted simply because you believe you can impose your own will on the general will of everybody. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I gave a scenario of a former member of Directorate of State who also followed the siblings of our leader, and he was abusing the same Directorate of State which he belonged to. He was coming on social media regularly to insult the same DOS that he's part of. So what happened? Each time I saw his post insulting the DOS, I felt, concerned. I felt upset. So I started, presenting this evidence through the proper channel, because it's very, very important you go through proper channels in your approach to issues. In fact, it got to a point that some of our comrades were even telling me, forget this guy. I said, I will not forget him. But I went on social media one day to call him out. I even went on social media one day to insult him or go to his comment section or set up my camera to start abusing him because he was, participating in treachery. Because I believe in the structure of IPOB. Most of the people you see today crying over things not working in their favor is because they have not followed through the right structure, and simply because they do not believe in the structure. Because if you believe in the structure of IPOB, you go through the right process and you wait for your justice to come. Well, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Of course, Patrick, I do.
So that you are in IPOB broadcasting does not mean you believe in the structure. So many of them will come and say, hey, DOL, we are following, but in their heart of heart, they do not believe. They are just because they want to gain the love and attention of them. But time has a way of exposing people. Time has a way of giving you that opportunity to showcase yourself. It is a matter of time. In fact, Wada, this struggle will turn you around to the point where your faith will be tested.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
own faith has been tested on different occasions, where even my own national coordinator came against me. My own national coordinator came against me, blackmailed me, teamed up with fellow Biafrans and other, reporting my case all over the place. You understand what I'm saying? Blackmailing me. But one thing I never did one day was coming to social media to justify myself. Do you know why? Because I know that everything in this IPOB has its own time. It is a matter of time. That truth that you are fighting for will on its own come out. You don't even need to fight. Most of the time, you don't need to fight. Most of these people you see today that are calling out members of DOS, even at some point, also called me out too. use me to run program on their platforms. And people were coming to tell me, say, Mazi, yes, what happened? Because I don't listen, I don't follow that, I don't listen. I said, now you that they do program. I said, what did I do? I have never one day even went to listen to what they say against me or what they analyze about me. Why? Because
It's
I
not about self here.
because I do not want that distraction.
Mm,
They have tried on many occasions to drag me into their saga so that every one of us will not be on the same level. Because that is what I said earlier, that many people get discouraged and they want to drag other people along down the drain. So many
exactly.
people are are doing saga on social media in the name of media warriors, and they want to see how they can drag, so that everybody will not be on the same level. And if you are not intelligent enough or you are not grounded in the struggle, you become distracted because they are going to try to mess with your emotions. They are going to do everything possible to mess with your emotion. And that was why you see them calling you all sort of names because they want to mess with your emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Calling a fellow Biafra woman a prostitute in UK. What do you get to achieve? Have you ever seen her in any prostitution ring? Or have there been any report of her getting involved in prostitution? And you still turn around and say it's not blackmailed anybody. Is that not a blackmail? Wanda, go ahead. I'm expecting
Yeah,
more
yeah, Patrick.
calls. I'm expecting more
Okay.
calls.
Yeah, Patrick. Everything you are saying is in order. Is correct. Just we've made it known our reason of coming out to speak, to stand against what some of the comrades are doing is has nothing to do with personal interest. It's our collective efforts. If
We
the
are
ship
we
is
are fighting to defend our honor, and that is what we are doing.
exactly,
That is what we are doing.
exactly. If the driver is destroyed, everybody in the vehicle is at risk. That's what we are
100%.
doing.
That's 100%.
Not only the leadership, Mazi. There are a lot of ideas and projects IPOB is running. For example, something like there was a time we did the agriculture. We are back even against the agricultural revolution. When there's an idea that comes forth from the leadership for us to run, a media personnel going to his or her platform to begin to scrutinize, criticize, analyze, bringing out negativity out of an idea brought forth for us to run with is very, very wrong. And how chaos, how wicked some people do is after destroying that very particular idea, they will open up lines. Because what they have done, they have they have built up rebels, people in the same category with them. Probably people that fell out from the struggle or had problem with it, with one person or the other in the struggle. They are hanging on because how enemies work. Enemies attract fellow enemies. Enemies of this struggle, once they find out that your platform has become an avenue to destroy the movement, what they will do, they will become your ardent follower. They are not following you because they like you, but because you are in the same lane with them. They want to, you become a partner. They will partner along in order to achieve that thing they have had a mind to do. That is why you still see some people supporting these people, the same rebels they have built.
But there are people who are just hanging out, looking for where the Directorate of State is criticized. If
Yes.
tomorrow I set up my own Facebook page to abuse the leadership. Many who are insulting me today will switch around and start clapping for me
Exactly.
because they want to see the DOS destroyed.
Uh-huh.
Even the people who have called me all sorts of names for defending this DOS now will still turn around to say you are the best because they want to see the Directorate of State fail. So we even tell you,
Uh-huh.
but we told you, but we have been saying this all along because they want to see the DOS fail. But you know the most interesting part of it is that you have the right to choose which party you want to belong. You know, I gave a typical example of how, for people who are talking about the issue, I've seen many of them also go into the issue of religion. And I told them that religion is just a vehicle. Religion is just a vehicle. It is the same religion that you are criticizing and abolishing that the likes of Martin Luther King use as instrument of liberation for blacks in America. You can
Uh-huh.
also turn this same Bible into sort or instrument of slavery for your own people. Well, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because
Exactly.
the
Yeah, I
Bible
do.
that they are fighting against have every chapter and verse that deals with slavery and freedom and liberation inside the same Bible. But how you
Mm.
choose to use it is left to you. How the operators
Uh-huh.
of religion have chosen to use religion as instrument of oppression is left to them.
Uh-huh.
I have seen people also use Bible quotation to fight against the government that is oppressing the people.
Uh-huh.
We have seen where also people use the Bible to support the government that is oppressing people. So the
Uh-huh.
religion is like a vehicle. The drivers are the problem. So it is very, very important that we educate our people to understand the concept so that you not be deceived by people coming in with their narrow-minded concept about how they feel or their own feelings and sentiments. We must be balanced. And that is why it's important to educate our people because the person that is giving you the narrative today, if they lead you in the path of that route that they say they are taking you back to, that your route can also be corrupted and also be used against you if you do not have the
Uh-huh.
right education. Because
Exactly.
I remember that at some point that our also traditional institutions were corrupted, just like it is today that you see the Igbes and the Obis and all traditional rulers taking bribes. Where you now see our even traditional institution receiving certificate from government, we saw hope of handing over batons to community leaders.
Uh-huh.
So your root
Uh-huh.
can also be corrupted, just like you also have the churches and the other religious places and Islam corrupted. The government is also using that your traditional school as a source of oppression against you, where the Igwes can no longer speak the truth. Where the Igwes are even handpicked by government agents to be Igwe and they give them certificate. Is that not corruption? Because
Exactly.
in the days where we lived in insanity, it was the gods that chose who was the king. But today, it is the government, corrupt politicians that choose your king for you.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
I want our people to understand when it comes to the issue of religion, do not allow yourself to be deceived, to be made to believe that the religion is your problem. I've seen some, you saw what happened in Ferrara where somebody said that the religion is their problem. But I try to make you understand that it is not the religion, because you can choose to manipulate the religion and make it what you want it to be. The religion is like a flour that you use in baking. You can use that flour to the same flour to bake pancake. You use the same flour to bake cake. You can use the same flour to bake buns. You can use the same flour to bake to make whatever you want to make. That is how religion is. It depends on what you want to do with it.
What you make out of it.
Both
Exactly.
the Christian religion, both the Islamic religion, and both the traditional religion, and even other religions that we are not even familiar with. So it is very, very important that we educate our people on how even your own root can also be corrupted. And do not allow yourself to be driven into extremism just because somebody told you that this is the source of your problem. Because what somebody tell you is the source of your problem might not even be the source of your problem. Because they are giving their own interpretation based their own little understanding of issues. Wanda, we have, I think I have the caller coming in, and I don't know if there is something you still want to say.
Once the call starts to come in, just cut me off. Yeah, Mazi, you have said it all. All Biafrans, all of us, we need to be conscious of all this. We cannot afford to lose all what we have built, what has taken us long, what has taken life, Lord, what has taken a lot of energy. Suddenly overnight, somebody will come in with one ideology because of personal interest you have in what that person has been saying. You stand on that personal interest to trying to corrupt the collective interest over what you have built for so long. If you watch the operations of the enemies, let's for example take Nigerian government, which are our arch enemies. What they did first is planning on how to hunt down on our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because what they thought, once the leader is subdued, the organization would apparently go down. They went for him without knowing that he has laid strong structures. After his kidnap and rendition, IPOB continues. What they went back again, he starts to make up stories, different places. EXN did this, IPOB did. Before you know it, they started to tag the HOD. This is their plan. It's a long list plan from the head. They'll be going gradually because what they targeted is the people, the pillars. So that is the same way each and every one of us has to be very conscious, no matter whichever or however they come in, despite how comrade you think that person is. Even me speaking to you, any day I change, just stand me an enemy, run away from me, deal with me. That is the best way if you have a collective interest of this Biafra movement at heart, not because of your brother or because of that comrade. There are so many people that I have been so close to, but once you begin to go the other way, well, either I block you or I disengage you because many things has gone in, and we cannot afford to use because of friendship or comradeship or whatever to lose all that we have built. So protection of this movement is the work of each and every one of us. It's not even only in the media, even in our individual units. There's something that happened in my unit one day. Because that is the danger of some of these media personnel that brings in a lot of rubbish about the struggle in the media space. Because you have people listening to you. Once you corrupt their minds, you have disengaged them totally from everything the movement is all about. That's why we deem you an enemy once you start to go that path. Because we know your agenda is not only you that wants to go down, you want to carry other people along. That's why we have to fight and disengage that weight that you want to spread along to carry others along you. You understand? Because some of the people following what we are doing is listening to some people. After listening to them, if it's people that comes to unit meeting, when you start to hear people echoing in the zone meetings what they are hearing in the social media, that's when I knew this thing some companies are doing in the social media has gone so bad. In fact, I became so concerned about because of some misbehaviors or trances coming from some people within the unit. Then what? Because once you talk, I know who you are listening to. That is why we must have to shun all those kind of behaviors. No matter how close you might be with them, anything that is not in the interest of this movement must be shown, no matter who you are. Many DOS members has been cut off because once you start to sabotage, there's no room for sabotage in a struggle like this. Sabotage is capable of crippling many years of struggle. That's why once you start that, you are deemed as an enemy and you'll be treated as one. Because what you want to do is to collapse the effort of the heroes. Look at how many people have we lost. And somebody will just rise overnight because you managed to gather 20,000 followers, 50,000 followers. Then you feel on top of the world. I have seen few 100,000 followers with no engagement. So it's not about followers. Once you start to talk rubbish, people know there are sensible ones. Yes, you will manage to get few. When Egberima came, he went with some. But the intelligent ones that knew and understand what we are doing still remain. So when they start and they think, oh, they have followers, they have people gathering, before you know it, you start to lose them because there are still intelligent ones watching you. There's something I said to someone. Our people have something they call agbe. It's like a small insect
Yes,
that lives under the
of
skins
course.
of animals.
Very black,
Yes,
very
and
black.
yes, exactly. An animal that carries that many a times doesn't know that they have it. So at times it's always good you see some acne, you begin to take it away. At least once you bring it out, you show the acne. Say this is the acne that is in you. You've been carrying all along. That is why you saw some video cutouts. Honestly, some individuals if had they been we are cutting videos and saving, a lot of things has gone wrong. A lot of utterances, unguarded utterances, unguarded utterances capable of destroying things. That's why we are saying it has to be stopped. No matter how big you are, no matter your name, your size, or whatever, if you make yourself an enemy of the struggle, you'll be treated the same. That is why all of us went after Iberima and all his cohorts. And he ended up where he is today. Somebody was telling me, oh, Iberima was just in the prison now because he's in Finland. But who and who brought up evidences? Who and who destroyed Iberima or exposed him? Iberima is where he is today because IPOB media exposed him. Had it been that we did not expose to the world that he's a killer, we did not inform people that the sister at home he's using to kill people is not from IPOB. That's why those investigators that came all the way from Finland to went to Enugu, they went based on the news or our the expositions IPOB medias were making. They went down to see things for themselves.
The one thing I also want to make our people understand is in Europe, Finland is one of the most lenient countries. one of the most lenient when it comes to dealing with issues of criminality. One of the most lenient. They are not hard on issues of criminality. It's one of the softest. You know, when they say somebody, people they live soft life, it's one of the softest countries that even when you commit crime, they might not even mind you until they will be waiting for you to come to them. Now you use your leg for that come. That is how they operate. I've been there a couple of times. It's not a country where they will hear anything about criminality and you see them running with siren all over the place. The country is a very calm place. So for you to see them detain somebody for months like this,
For months. Exactly.
Wada, it's not a child's play. It's not a
Yes,
child's
I
play.
know.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, so
Exactly.
and I've always told people, you see this struggle that we are into. This struggle is not a muscle, it's not moved by muscle. This struggle, you know, when you have a good leadership, you don't appreciate them because our people are not used to this type of leadership where you see the leaders take their time to deal with issues. Emma, ndị be anyị the kind of our energy is too much. We have so much energy, we have so much aggression in us because that is the system we find ourselves in Nigeria. Nigeria has made everybody to become aggressive and you know, but having a leadership that tend to put this energy a little under control is one of the things we must appreciate. Just imagine that we followed the autopilot approach to issues in Biafra struggle, trying to use our muscle to achieve our aim, where we all of us are today, we would have destroyed our homeland. What are you hearing me?
Yes, what you are saying
You
is
know,
right, Mazi.
before Ojukwu declared Biafra, he was put under so much intense pressure that he warned our people and said, listen, if we declare Biafra, the zoo will come for war. And we cannot afford war now because he was in charge of the entire Eastern region. He understands the dynamic. He has instruments of the war and all the necessary. He knew that more time for negotiation was needed.
Uh-huh.
He knew that while negotiation would have continued, it would have helped our people to prepare to save enough food for whatever will come. It would have helped our people to even build that Ogunigwe Lucia in the middle of the war conveniently. It would have helped if our people have continued on the path. You know, I don't know how to explain this. You see, our people always, because when you do not know history, history always tends to repeat itself.
Oh.
You know, and that is why you see the world that have always succeeded in the midst of aggression are those countries and those worlds that understand the importance of patience, the importance of patience, the importance of taking your time.
Uh-huh.
And that is what this leadership have shown in character.
Exactly, Mazi.
The leadership of IPOB understand the importance of patience and the importance of time. Because any decision you make in a hurry, any move you make in a hurry, especially in the heat of the moment, might have serious consequences and disadvantages. So when you see a leadership that tries to take things one step at a time, but because our people are not used to this form of system, they tend to believe that the struggle is stagnant. They
Exactly,
tend to
Mazi.
believe that nothing is happening. Well, that me and you, we live here in Europe, and we understand how bureaucracy works. We understand that there are things you do. The government is not going to respond to you in the next 1 year, Sef. There are certain requests
It's true.
you make from the government. They are not going to respond. 2 years, you will be the one running up and down because you don't understand how the system works.
Uh-huh.
If you understand how the system works, you have to be patient because no, I can't dedicate you. But that is why you see a lot of people run and go back home because they don't understand how the system works. If you understand how the system works, then you have to follow the process. And that is what the leadership is doing, following the process. But a lot of people want to jump the coup. They don't want to follow the process. And that is how many jump into autopilot. Today, have they given you
Mm,
Biafra?
exactly. Exactly.
Have they,
Exactly,
the people
Mazi.
that promised you Biafra 2 years ago that Biafra is coming in the next 1 year, Biafra is coming, have they given you the Biafra? The same autopilot now have splitted into, I don't know whether more than 50 parts because everybody want to show themselves. And that is why we are making our people understand that we cannot allow affliction of autopilot to rise again in IPOB
Exactly.
because egwu egwu ka o ji wee bido. By them coming to say they want to change the narrative of yesterday. They started
Mm.
by changing the narrative of yesterday. From changing the narrative, they started answering dragon. I even see the idiot. He have already added dragon to his name. And I just laugh. I say, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
El Batobie.
Mm.
You know, so when you see a butterfly start thinking himself to be a bird, that you are always in the media talking doesn't mean that you have a lot to offer because there are many people who are not in the media every day talking, but they have even more
Uh-huh.
to offer.
Uh-huh.
And that is why
Uh-huh.
I tell them at every point in time, go and take a break to refresh your mind. You must not be on social media every
Exactly.
day.
Uh-huh.
You can't be on social media all the time. There are times
Uh-huh.
you also need some sort of reflection on your own self. Put evaluations on your activities. Look at the things you are doing. Are you getting them right? Forget about the comment section because the comment
Mm.
section can be deceitful.
Uh-huh.
Your comment section can tell you lies about true realities of things. That the crowd is cheering at you doesn't mean you are getting it right.
Uh-huh.
That the crowd is also insulting you doesn't mean you are getting it wrong. Maybe you need
It's true.
further explanation for them to understand. So it is very, very important that our people start educating themselves. Because what we have seen over the years is that the, the ignorance of our people are being taken advantage of.
Uh-huh.
When you have an ignorant population, it becomes very, very easy to convince them. Very, very easy. And that is why anybody can come to the media and bring up a narrative and you see people supporting because they don't even understand themselves as a people. If you understand yourself as a people, you question certain narratives.
Uh-huh.
And that is why in this part of the world, you see the population tend to, because the level of education is high. You cannot just come out from nowhere and tell them things they know already.
Uh-huh.
What? I don't know if I'm making sense, and I believe that Biafrans are
Yes,
listening.
Maz, you are making a lot of sense.
So our
You are
people
making a lot
need
of
a
sense.
lot of education. And that is why once in a while some of us will come here. It's quite unfortunate that I'm not getting questions. People are not even calling me to ask questions.
But probably the listeners, they understand what we are saying, and they know what we are saying is true because a lot of many eyes are open now. You know, when Ekberima came, Ekberima so swept off the people he took. So our people are vigilant. Once you start to play that game, they will detect you and they will put you where you're supposed to be. Because you made mention of something that really touched me, which our people needs to be given more explanation on that regard. Because that's why some people will come and think, oh, it looks like what they are saying is true, is stagnant. God forbid. Now, you made mention of patience and the time. And I can tell you, is one of the things I noticed about this leadership. They are not, they don't engage in rash decisions. The same way treat complaints. When you bring in a complaint without evidence, these people don't look into it. You must present your evidence of what you are saying. They are not the kind of people who run out because there's a change. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was around, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always on radio, always speaking on any decision. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will announce it on radio, and every year will be boom and the fire everywhere. So there is a difference because you mentioned about timing. The timing we are in right now, you feel it with the kind of move or announcement being made. Since last 3 or 4 years now, Onyendu was kidnapped. There is a high tension of attack on IPOB by all manners, from Nigeria government, from their agents all over the world. So this leadership has taken a decision of being careful with what they brings out in the media and what they don't bring out. Last year we saw trucks of seedlings, big truck of it, with so many bags of seedlings. The leadership, the IPP used to support agricultural revolution. Many of us were so amazed. How do they plan and execute such plan without anybody hearing it? Nobody knew about it until we saw pictures. The same way, many a times when they show ESN anniversary, this last ESN anniversary, I was asking myself, how did they manage to plan and execute that in the midst of this high tension of attack and cramp down on IPOB? So this is the way and operation of this leadership, which our people has to have it at the back of mind. These guys are not how on this show. They don't do show. If you watch them, they are not show people. They are not coming to please you or give you a false promise that they will collapse the mountain for you. It calls for timing. When you have arrays of enemies waiting for you to move, for them to shoot, it calls for carefulness. on your execution of policies. And that is the strategy and approach this very leadership has taken, and they have been going by it, which some of our people do not understand. Instead of them to flow along and understand the time we are in, rather they want to hear what their ears wanted to hear. They want clappings and noise and everywhere, which is not at the right timing. You know, many of times I will tell people it calls for careful decisions
Well,
that
there is
have
something I
sustained.
want to put. There is something I want to put in.
Okay.
And I will continue to say it, that if we
Mm.
have had this type of leadership prior to 1970, the 1967 war, and the strategy that they have, so I don't think we would have lost the Biafran war.
Mm.
Possibly because they have also learned from the past, and also possibly that the traveling that many of them living in diaspora, the experience they have gathered.
Mazi, if a call is coming in, let me go.
Yes, if
If a
calls
call
are
is
coming
coming
in,
in,
I will drop you there. We had
yes.
a caller earlier on. I don't know if I would call the person back to avoid, complaints. I think I have also missed a call. But I have to let you go so that I'll be able to take another calls. Yes. Yes, I've had other calls. Let me see. There is somebody that called, I don't know, it's Obinna. Mazi Obinna Nwachileke. I don't know. Let me see if I can get him. Because he called earlier and we also had our brother Mazi Austin Chika who called, and I don't know if it was contribute for this program or part of the discussion we had earlier. Yes. Hello, Mazi Obinna Nwachileke. Welcome to the program. You called in earlier. I was in a conversation. This is Biafra Television. I want to give you the opportunity to make your contribution. Please turn down the volume of your listening device.
Yeah, turn it on, Mazi. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Thank you. From Mazi been calling from India, New Delhi, India.
You're welcome to the program, Mazi.
Okay. Mazi, you and Wada and other, there are some other before the Wada has spoken a lot and said so much concerning this thing that is happening. And also, I want to thank you so much for coming around and also to make sure that you deal with all these shenanigans that are happening. And I want to thank you so much. And I would plead also, Mazi, at least once in a week, you should be also having you can make out a time to come also to educate our people. Those that their mentality is not strong enough, that can be easily be deceived, immediately be deceived. So please, Mazi, that's my request. And again, I want to say a little because most of our brethren that are fermenting on this issue maybe thought that maybe because they are on the social media and because of this, and they have, as well, I heard one of them saying that apart from there are only people that are having more viewers and followers. I don't understand this is where their mindset is. So I want them to understand that they are not the one that is driving this Biafran struggle. And thinking that Mazi Nnamdi can come out and start talking to the leadership on social media, thinking that when Mazi Nnamdi come out, Mazi Nnamdi will block them and say, okay, go back to your family where you are. That means they are not trained a lot. They have never understand this, the magnitude of this, or the organization of this Biafran movement. member of IPOB that is on social media will come out and attack your fellow comrade. One of our sisters, a member of IPOB, come out on the media in the social media, come out, attack our sister, say that any man that married this sister married a man. That he has so much document, he has so much hospital document, he has so much. He says a lot of things. There's no kind of a man saying such a thing to a woman, a lady. Today, the lady that our sister has gotten married today. He said a lot that any man that want to take his sister of marriage is getting married to some empty or I don't know or his fellow man just for nothing. And we are trying, you will be on social media trying to tell us that you have been in this struggle, you have do this, you have do that. A man will come on social media, question you begin to talk to the DOS, begin to insult him, saying all manner of things. Telling them, you see, look at a man appointed by Mazi Nnamdi, since you said that you respect Mazi Nnamdi, those that is appointed among the DOS. If one knows again, they are nobody. You will come on social media and be saying such a thing. You come on social media, you are beginning to abuse the people and I don't even know what is called authority or leadership. You don't even know anything about leadership. Even I'm saying that, Mazi, it's high time, please, before somebody will come up with anything or coming to this social media to talk about Biafra, it should pass. There should be a some training for them to understand, to know the level of their understanding. Because what I am seeing, okay, last year I called one of these brothers. He began to talk to me. You people don't have mouth. You are full of hero worship, but you people don't want to question the leadership. You want to when the time of Nnanya back then, when the issue of Nnanya, this same person come out on platform saying that he's not going to contribute again in this struggle, that he's not stupid. How can one woman take hold the all the money of the organization without thinking? And today, when the US are trying to figure out how they can be able to raise money to make sure that the people, the men in the bush, didn't go astray. I wish the plans of the enemy happen. How can these men, thousands of men, in like what you say, if this confusion come into what will be the fate of Biafran land today? And you are in the media, you come out and say that these people, you cannot contribute. You never know, because of that one broadcast he made, you don't know how many people are affected that is supposed to be contributing in this struggle. But you also standing on the media saying that you want to hold leadership accountable as well. You call people hero worshippers. You call them stag illiterate. I didn't understand where all these things are coming from. But I know what DOS have done, not to even talk to them, just allow them to be backing. And they are backing. They are all backing now. So what I'm saying, please, Mazi, make up your time. And once in a week, come and educate our people, so that people will not lead them astray. Let them be talking as they want to talk. Since they don't want to respect themselves, they say that in this Biafra struggle, DOS will be coming every day. This brother says shut up for me online. Then I will pass it to DOS. This brother say insulted my mother. He pass it to DOS. This is what they will be discussing in this struggle, in this present time. What is DOS will be discussing? As a man to man, you can't even maintain and go. You are in a abroad. People call you all kinds of money, name, all kind of racist attitude, all kinds of name, insult you. You will keep quiet. When you have been a fellow comrade, when little discussion, when little banter, what give flag to DOS. You want them to come. I'm not going to discuss when you pass mama, I'm an insult. So please, Mazi, I beg you.
Thank you. Thank you very
People
much.
should be coming.
Thank you,
To be
Mazi.
talking to us.
I will try as
Talking to our
much.
brethren.
I will try as
Thank
much
you.
to make my presence because I believe and I
Yeah.
know that our people are listening. Our people are not as difficult as we think they are. I believe that our people are open, and when they hear the truth, they know the truth. But the unfortunate thing is that we have allowed people with their own personal narrative and personal interest and agenda to dominate the media for too long. And but we're going to try our best to make sure we continue to guide our people on the path of truth as they exist, because everybody have their own truth, but certain truth does not exist.
Yes.
We make sure we are going to guide our people on the path of truth as they exist, not on my own truth, because I have my own personal individual truth. But the question is, does my own individual personal truth, does it exist in reality? Everybody have their own truth. Mazi, you that is talking to me, have your own truth as well. Even Ekperima, who is in prison today in Finland, also at some point had his own truth. And he was convinced about his own truth. But the question is, does his truth exist? And where have his truth landed him today? Because he told our people in his own truth that in the next 1 year that he will give them Biafra. In his own truth, he made a 150-day countdown in his own truth. But did those truths really come to reality? Mazi, I want to thank you for being part of this program. I also think I have other calls. Yes, I have another of our brother who called into the program 43 minutes ago. I don't know if he's calling to be part of the program or he's making his. We had an interaction yesterday. I don't know if he's calling to for that reason. So I'm expecting more calls to come in. I'm expecting more calls before I round up. I'm expecting more calls to come in. For those who have questions to ask, the floor is open. The floor is 100% open for you. Just like our brother in India suggested that I should be coming regularly, I will try my best to see how I will make it a duty to come regularly to talk to our people, to be able to also have their consensus. Because, like I said earlier, the leadership of IPOB that we have today, I believe, have learned, they have studied the experience that we had between 1967 to 70. And I believe that our experience of that time cannot be allowed to repeat itself, where we declared Biafra without preparation, without the adequate preparation to defend our homeland effectively, to make sure that we have food security, to make sure that we have all the necessary instruments of defense. Ojukwu told our people, if we declare Biafra, Nigeria is going to declare war on us. And many of our people said, no, we are ready to fight, to defend ourselves. Even some of our people in Abriba said, we eat human beings. We are going to use our machete. In fact, we will be butchering and eating human meat. He told them it's not about that. Just imagine that we have continuously engaged the zoo on the part of negotiation of our Buri agreement while developing our weaponry system. Just put that in your imagination. that we have taken our time to continue to engage on that Aburi agreement, taking this Aburi agreement to the global community, building our own narrative and developing our media space to be able to contain the propaganda of the Nigerian state. Because most of the war that was also fought were war of propaganda. But because our people were so much in a hurry, they want to see result. We declared Biafra and the war came. We tried our best. But ordinary food blockade, we couldn't resist anymore. Because we didn't prepare. We didn't take our time to prepare for that angle of self-defense. If Ojukwu had not caved into accepting to declare Biafra, they would have tagged him Sabo. They would have, you see, your people are dying and you are not doing anything about it. Many would have said, oh, Ojukwu is stagnant. They would have said he's stagnant, he's not making, he's a useless leader, he's not taking action. Action. There is no action. But he has to cave in. And that is why I told you that most of the time, the comment section can be deceptive. Your comment section on Facebook can be deceptive. Don't give into comment section. Those people that are praising you, they could be your worst enemy. Because at some point, people praise the Ekperima. All the people that were praising the Ekperima, where are they today? Have they gone out to protest for him? Rather, they are busy dragging positions in their newfound republic that does not exist anywhere. A republic that exists in the cloud. So that is why I told you that your truth could be your truth. But does your truth exist in reality? Because there are still people today who in their own personal individual truth believe that Biafra have come. According to their own conviction of what their prime minister told them. The people still believe that Biafra have come. Oh. That is their own truth. But the question is, does that truth exist in reality? It's a question we have to ask ourselves. That you come on social media every day to come and talk and people are applauding you, doesn't make you the best in the world. You must also checkmate yourself and make sure that at every point in time that you are doing the right thing. Because if people start questioning you the way you question others, the way you are questioning the leadership and antagonizing them, if everybody antagonizes you the way you do to others, how will it make you feel? Will you be happy about it? We just confronted them only 1 week. It's not even up to a week. And they are beginning to complain as if they are the victims. In just less than 1 week, they have turned to become the victims. But you have been attacking the leadership all this while. Nobody responded to you. But in less than a few days of confrontation, you are now the victim. So we have to be careful. Because there are so many people on the ground you are not seeing, but they are present. And those who are actually making the biggest sacrifice are not on social media. those who are making the real contribution in the struggle for Biafra restoration, they don't even want to be identified because of the positions they occupy. There are millions of them making huge contributions, and they will say, don't put my name out there. They warn you, don't you ever put my name out there. Don't you ever mention my name anywhere. I don't want to be noticed because I'm occupying certain positions, or look at. So that you are in the media doesn't mean you are the one making the biggest sacrifice. Absolutely not. Whatever role you are playing, remain humble with it, because you don't know who is doing more than you. Unfortunately, we are going to end the program here. Since we are not having more calls, I don't know who is this. Okay, I don't know if, let me check. Let me go through and see. I don't know. Let me see if I can call back our sister to give her closing remark, because I promised I was going to do that. So, Maz, Wanda, just like I promised I was going to call you back, I don't know if you like to give any closing remark before we end the program.
Okay, Mazi, I think you have said it all. It's such a very beautiful program, an enlightenment, exposition and clarification. At least it's a question and answer program that if anybody is confused about what is happening, to bring it up, which you've done so well by answering the questions and the people that made their suggestions. So all we are saying, all this effort is just an effort to protect this struggle, to preserve the labor of many years we can't afford to lose. Protection of our leadership is the protection of this great movement. It is the protection of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If IPOB leadership is destroyed, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is destroyed. The leadership, as we are now, as we are currently, are the ones piloting at the absence of our leader. If anything happens to the pilots, the whole plane
Well,
will
I've also
crash.
seen, sorry, I've seen on my comment section, somebody said that they have the right to criticize the leadership so that the leadership can sit up. Said that the leadership can sit up. What do you have to say about leadership sitting up?
What we have seen so far played out is not like asking question or compose critics. What we have seen is ridiculing, is an attack. Is an attack of the structure, attack of ideas. When you say that IPOB is stagnant and about to go into oblivion, what you have done is you have given an enemy like a comfort that what they are doing against the struggle is working. Let them push more to destroy. So it's not you wouldn't say you are criticizing the leadership. There's nothing like criticizing here, or you are trying to make them to wake up. Wake up in what form or in what manner? When you have you wanted to sell the movement into the hands of the enemies. Many a times we saw another video that tells people that the struggle don't care about people. That if you are caught anywhere, you're on your own. One leg in, one leg out. It's a false narrative of what the movement is all about. Recently and continuously, we have seen our legal team going to different DSS facilities across Nigeria in search of our members, standing in for them, speaking for them, and making sure that they are released. This is all IPOB is all about.
And not just all those that are in DSS custody. We've also seen people
Yes.
who, the families of our comrades who lost their
The
lives,
families.
who are also getting financial support.
Exactly. Up to today, we have never left our own. Even recently, I have been involved in support of one of our past heroes' families as well. This is what IPOB has been doing. The leadership has been on top of it. We have never left. I've had contact with one of our comrades that the brother as well passed is one of the our the brother. Yeah, I knew what he told me, how they were cared, the family, and how what IPOB did. So IPOB, the welfare of our movement cares. We do care. We protect our own. We go for our own. We are not autopilot. So throughout Ekperima was making noise. Has Ekperima one day said that they have done this or they have done that for their comrade? They don't have lawyers that are going for their criminals that had problem. So we are not autopilot. We are a grounded movement on ground that cares, that protect our own. So what these people are doing, they are not waking any leadership. Do you wake leadership up in the social media with noise, with allegation, with blackmail?
Let me also come in. Because some of these people, they come to claim academic efficiency. They claim they are professionals in their fields. They claim that they went to school. But in their character lies the true sense of cruelty, illiteracy, and the worst you can see in a society. Their attitude does not portray in any form or shape the attitude or character of an educated person or educated individuals. Rather, they behave like people who have never seen the four walls of any tertiary or primary academic institution whatsoever. Because education is not what you say with your mouth. Education is what you portray in your character. Education is what you portray, the way you carry yourself. You can't claim to be educated when you behave like a tout and talk like a nonentity. As an educated person who have found himself in an institution like IPOB, and you claim you are educated and you are knowledgeable, have you been able to put up a comprehensive recommendation, written, a guideline that you feel is necessary to help the leadership work or help the leadership sit up as you claim? Have you been able to put up a documentation or a recommendation for the leadership to follow? Because this is how educated people behave. If I see an area that the leadership has I think function that I want to appreciate our technical team for the urgency in resolving this challenge. Now, let me continue from where I stopped because we are rounding up this program. And why I have to address some of these issues is to give our people a comprehensive directive so that our people can see clearly when people present themselves to them as people who are more superior. Because what we see are people presenting themselves to be more superior than the leadership of IPOB, invariably. Because before you see somebody coming to, present him or herself to the people, which means he wants to automatically assume leadership position by tearing down the old leadership. And my question is, these people now that are claiming that the leadership are being criticized to sit up, what leadership role have they played in IPOB outside coming to the media to talk? Because you cannot come and claim, you cannot say you want to be the president of a country where you have not even been tested at a local government level to show your capacity. Well, I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Yeah, Mazi, what you are saying is correct. Yeah.
Before you come to claim you want to be the leader of a people, you must come with a proof of what you have done at the lowest level in leadership. Because that should be the basis of you being qualified to get to another higher level of leadership. And if you have found yourself in a movement like IPOB and you see that there are things that are not going right, and you have a genuine clean heart, like I said, that we're all working to make IPOB better for all, what are the recommendations documented to prove that you have tried to communicate with the leadership in bringing your own ideas? Because these are how intelligent, educated people function. One, I don't know if I'm communicating.
Yes, Mazi,
You bring up a comprehensive documented recommendation for the leadership to look at, to help them work better. As an educator, since you say you are more intelligent than the leadership, because if I see something or any areas that need to be covered, that have lapses, what I should do is to research on that area and make recommendations for the leadership. Because I have a genuine heart. Because I'm happy and willing to work with the leadership to succeed. This is how you see people in genuine organization making their contributions. By making recommendations, documented recommendations, making presentations to the leadership, telling them, look at areas I feel we should look at and adapt some of these measures to strengthen IPOB internally or externally. Have they been able to do some of these things? I'm trying to paint a picture of the attitude of an educated person. An educated person does not come on social media to abuse their fellow comrades, calling them names and insulting them, telling fellow Biafra women that they are smelling. Does that show you attitude of, even when they are smelling, really? It shows you how cruel and bitter they are in their hearts. And it's a choice our people have to make if you want to follow the path of extremists in this struggle, or you want to follow the path of liberal, where everybody is accommodated in working together to build a society of the future. Are these kind of people we are looking up to help us form a civilized society of the future, Wanda?
No, not at all.
They do not have that qualification to help build the kind of future that Biafra envisage, because these people are still living in the caves. Despite their claim of coming to the Western world and seeing civilization, they still, in their mind, they still live in the cave. Because when a civilized, educated person speaks, you see it in their charisma. You don't have to abuse anybody to lay your point. You don't have to insult people to make your point. You don't have to be confrontational to pass your message. So the basis of their claim education is being put on question in this program. And I want our Biafrans to go home with this question in their mind. The person you are clapping for in the comment section, look at his character and personality. Does he have the leadership quality you envisage? Does he have that leadership criteria to give you a direction? We cannot live like this. And we must reject any form of extremist view, any form of bigotry. And I stand in a higher ground to make this proclamation that Biafra and Biafrans can do better. Mazi,
of course,
brothers and sisters all over the world, Wada, I want to thank you. I want to appreciate you for being part of this wonderful program and also keeping me company as well, because your company, uninvited, by the way, but you made it an obligation for yourself to see that you support this program by your own contribution. But you would have just sat back in your bedroom and say, Mazi came, what is he saying? Like many will say, what is this? But you came and joined me in this program, and people in the comment section also have shown through their comment that they appreciate your presence. One, I want to say thank you very much. And thank you very much to every Biafran who have stayed 3 hours in this program with us. And I hope that soonest I'll be back again to have more interactions with you. And next week, Saturday, the time and date is on the poster. Please help us share it around. We expect to see you as you join us on our conference and retreat, so we can talk about harnessing the advantages of the media as it stands today in the 21st century towards Biafra restoration. Until I meet you once again, I want to say have a wonderful Sunday and God bless you all.
thank you, guys.
Hey, Don Prince Victor, Iwawe Mado, Anya Begun, Biafra Deje, no, Obia, Ije, Freedom, na Udoka Inario, Anya Hiko for Barameno. Aye Bundi Biafra, Bundi Judo Naga, Obis, Makilo Maketu Najaga. Oga de kwarai na ma. Omo Biafra jakene. Biafra na tako. Ibo we madu no. Ibo we madu na tako. Omo Biafra de. Biafra na tako. No. Ibo we madu na tako. Eji megu mekene. Tifu Nnamdi Kanu. Odogwo ga de mma. Onye ze no duwolo de mma. Okwandi solo gili nenuwa, akologo gili laja. Oposisi bolo tolo, emese gono makwele. Okwanye manono dugo, odoro negwe mma. Okokoko nyaru, anachua yonso. Ose kwense likoni, oke jikwe no gono gongaji. Dike kani kibu na London, dike kani kibu na Israel. Dike kani kibu na Russia. Dike Kanu kibu na Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu. Dike Kanu kibu na Biafra. Nzobu eni mba eni. Nzobu eni mba eni. Anyị ga-azọgbu ndị ilo. Eni mba eni. Nzobu eni mba eni. Ụmụ Igbo niile bekene. Igbo nwe mmadụ anatago. Igbo nwe mmadụ nọ. Biafra anatago. Ewo, ọ dịwola anyị nọ. Igbo nwe mmadụ anatago.
Onye wele kesi zanye n'osi sale. My blood. Onye wele nke chukwu nye no chukwu okike obiọma. Onye give God what belongs to him, and gives Caesar what belongs to him. As we seek for peace and humanity, it's not at all for vanity. Then I want some people is killing each other. I want to wipe my blood down. I'm going to be a flag. I'm going to get in the middle. I'm going to get in the middle. Oh,
Nzobu eni mba eni. Nzobu eni mba eni. Nzobu eni mba eni. Zobu ndila anyị eni mba eni. Fellow, let my people go. Biafra anatago. Let my people. Igbo nwe mmadụ anatago. Ndị ilo lọpụke n'anya Kanu. Biafra anatago. Igbo nwe mmadụ nọ. Igbo nwe mmadụ anatago. Ojudene lapudene n'udene abụlanụ. Mana anyị abụrụ n'udene n'ụwa. Ihe ogogo, I want to know something. Make una hear me. Ibulu nwa Biafra na taba n'ụlọ. Make una come back, oh. Can you do the n'obodo anyị o? Ibu importer, ibu exporter. Na taba n'ụlọ. Can you do the n'obodo anyị? Ndị dị n'obodo anyị o. Airport dịkwa na be anyị o. Ship na-agbakwa na be anyị o. Oyi dịkwa n'ala be anyị o. Mmanya nkwụ dị na be anyị o. Ihe niile dị mma, ọ dịkwa n'ala be anyị o. Na taba n'ụlọ, ka anyị dozie n'obodo anyị. Ụmụ Igbo kọmpa, ka anyị dozie n'obodo anyị. O tinye nwata, weli aka elu. Afọ ayụfụ, o wetu aka o. Jehova, nke zọpụtara ụmụ Israel n'aka Fero. Bilie, natara ya oke ruru anyị o. Balie, natara ya oke ruru anyị Chukwu o. Bilie, natara ya oke ruru anyị o. Biafra bụ nke anyị o. Obodo ọma, Biafra bụ nke anyị. Ala Chukwu tere mmanụ. Nzobu eni mba eni. Nzobu ọnụ ha. Eni mba eni. Anyị azọgbu ọnụ ndị ilo. Eni mba eni. Nzobu eni mba eni. Nzobu eni mba eni. IPOB Nzobu eni mba eni. Nzobu eni mba eni. Asịkwa m n'igwe bụ ike o. Biafra anatago. Giligili bụ igwe eze nwanne m o. Igbo nwe mmadụ anatago. Ọ dị ihe nwata ya lapụrụ ya aka o. Biafra anatago. Agafu nwago ụfụ na ị ga-ewepụ ya na. Igbo nwe mmadụ anatago. Lapụ oke na anyị ka anyị nabanụ o. Biafra anatago. Anyị anatago. Igbo nwe mmadụ anatago. Anyị onye kene onye isi anyị. Our able director Mazi Prince Nnamdi Kanu. Onye ọ ga-adịrị mma. Onye eze. I say gigaba. I say gigaba n'ilu. Don't be afraid. At all. Never you be afraid of anyone. You are a lion. Ọkwago na amwago. Atubu. Oyibo obiọma. Nzobu. nzobu 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 enyimba enyi nzobu nzobu enyi nzobu enyimba enyi nzobu 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 enyi nzobu enyimba enyi IPOB nzobu enyi nzobu enyimba enyi nzobu nzobu enyi nzobu enyimba enyi.
The whole wide world will welcome the rising sun. Here comes the time for everyone to see that what will be, will be. This is the time for you and I to stand together as one. Yeah. They will know, they will know. The sun is rising from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are. Because the sun is rising. We're shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. We spent our lives in pain and misery. Never gonna trade our freedom with any mystery. It's affecting our soul and it's killing us slow. With what we've been through, we are far from being good. But we are blessed by Biafra, so we're never gonna give up. We're never gonna give up. There'll be light in the end of a tunnel. It will shine so bright all time. The whole wide world will embrace us. Nobody can stop us. Nobody can cage us. Nobody can stand us. Yeah. They will know. They will know. The sun is rising from east to west, from north to south. Can't you see the sun is rising? Oh, you wave your flag and be proud of who you are. Because the sun is rising. We're shining so bright all over the world. We are the sun, we are rising. The windows and curtains, green lights be revealing. When I think about how blessed we are, goosebumps all over my body. Sunrise to the clock strike. Black strands crossing gray stripes. Clashes upon clashes, many lives turn to ashes. When I ponder and reminisce, the actions I see malice. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag, all around the world. Blood on the ground, this is how we fly. Our beautiful flag, all around the world. We go carry the cross together. We walk through to Zion. We stumble, we rise. How the victory was done.